Welcome, intrepid
sweetheart, it's right over there. It's right over
Welcome, intrepid viewers. Join us as we talk about the festering garbage pile that is Sony's Madam Web.
Quick celebration of 12 subscribers!
Woo!
Yay!
Big moment, big moment.
Thank you to those who have joined us and
we're excited to have you guys.
Are viewing our content. We're a fairly new channel, but we're really excited to continue growing and continue talking about the latest and greatest in cinematic history.
Yeah.
We're going to kick things off with Madam Web, the story of good old what's-her-face learning that she has an innate spider ability that lets her see the future for some reason. Mm-hmm. But more or less, this is a movie that, for all intents and purposes, is complete and utter trash.
Yes.
This is such a crap fest. I think people really got a good sense that it's a crap fest from the trailer.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
And from the online discourse and from the general expectation we've grown to have for Sony-Marvel Spider-Man properties,
yes.
Everyone more or less knows that this movie is going to be hot garbage. So it's kind of like if you go out of your way to watch this, you're volunteering yourself for either what's going to be like an unpleasant, just terrible experience, or you're there to like laugh along and be like, wow, ha ha ha, this is so bad. I have to see what this is all about. So if you want to rubberneck on this movie, I kind of recommend it because there's elements that I thought was funny, not intentionally funny.
Watch it at home.
Yeah. Don't spend
here's
money.
The thing. The three spider girls whose character names I do not even remember because that's how bad the movie is. You know, watching them bond and be together definitely had a sense of, fun that lightened the tone of the movie. And Dakota Johnson's overall dryness kind of helps, keeps the movie a little bit grounded, at least in a sense of reality.
I can see the future. Oh, what the hell? She didn't see that coming? That's not how it works.
In fairness, that is like a point of her character. She is supposed to be someone who is not good with people.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be quirky. It's supposed to be like
and
fun.
she can't do quirky to save her fucking life.
Like,
so it just comes off as sarcastic and dry all the time, which, to pivot really fast, I get that like everybody loves a star who has, consciousness about the thing that's made them famous and like hate on it. To hear her go on the red carpet and be like, oh yeah, I don't think I'll ever see it, or and not know anything about the Marvel franchise. I get that it's fun and it's, it's great to poke fun at, but like Rachel Ziegler did the same thing and she got crucified on social media.
That it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Show some respect for the original source media. Obviously, it's hard when it's Sony, and they've given us no reason to respect anything in their Spider-Verse. But I don't know, maybe it's compatible with the fact that she's a Nepo baby, and just her overall personality is one that is, based in kind of dismissal. I don't love the discord and the fact that it's become very popular to shit on a product that is the representative of thousands of millions of dollars.
And a lot of
hard
member work.
Even if it is a piece of shit, which I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying, show some respect.
Can you name the 3 Spider-Man Tom Holland movies?
Yeah. Spider-Man, here he comes.
Here he comes, yes.
Spider-Man, and he's back. The Goblet of Spider-Man.
Moving on beyond the press junket, because the movie itself is worth talking about at the end of the day.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's fun to talk about, but that's kind of the thing is that like I think there's a level of like in joke that you get to be in on when it comes to, hey, you've seen the movie, great, let's yuck it up about this movie. But it's just not good. It is not worth your time at the end of the day.
The story structure makes no sense. The characters have no drive, especially the villain, who is the most one-dimensional villain I've ever seen written in a superhero movie ever. Yeah. Because this whole crux of the story is that he wants this spider, he wants this spider, he wants this spider. So he kills Dakota Johnson's mom in the Amazon.
While she's studying spiders.
While she's studying spiders, while she was pregnant with her. And his whole thing is, he has this vision that these girls are gonna kill him. And he's like, oh my God, I can't let this happen. I have to find out who these girls are, I have to stop them. Like, he's like, I can't let them destroy everything I've built. And it's like, cool. What have you built?
What's your
because
deal?
I've just seen you, like, somehow get a great apartment and have an awesome enclosure for your spider and have like a tech CIA, dropout on your, fucking roster.
So you have that on top of some of the worst ADR we've
God.
ever seen in our lives. So one point
I've never seen anything.
I'm happy
so
to make the
bad.
point that ADR is a very common practice in Hollywood. So it's where you record audio after your production.
Yes.
So you have to get into a booth and record your line just to make it a little more clear, or all sorts of reasons. It happens all the time. However, for some reason, they had to do like 85% of this guy's audio through ADR, and even though they did that, whenever you see his mouth moving at the same time, it doesn't match up.
It's like a bad kung fu movie. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, who's he? I don't know.
When you're watching the movie, the experience is somewhat surreal. It's very strange because you know what kind of budget and talent and the studio backing this production, and to get it to this point and see this level of like terrible quality, not just in like, okay, it's a bad script and the acting's a little hokey, but like production things of like what, how,
Camera
why?
choices.
Like these weird
Setup.
zooms that happen. Like it's weird that this studio and Sony have like kept going with this style in a weird way, and I just don't get it because clearly it's not working. Like they've had so many clear examples that this doesn't work, and yet it still feels and looks the same kind of way.
I feel like a big thing that bothered me was that like they make a huge point of being like, this is in 2003. We are not in 2024. We're 2023.
Generic 2007 pop song. Auto-tune so all the voices sound weird.
The first shot in the present storyline is her driving her ambulance past a Blockbuster. So you're like, we're in 2003. She leaves the girls in the middle of these woods in Jersey while she goes back to New York to like
in her
reinvestigate.
Madame Webmobile, which is a broken
stolen
ass taxi cab.
taxi.
She uses the whole movie.
That she just stole. And somehow is getting caught, even though there's an APB out for her arrest for kidnapping these girls. And while she's gone, the girls are irresponsible teenagers. I hate authority.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. So they're gonna go to a diner that they saw down the road, and at some point dance on a table with these hot boys and attract the attention of a bystander who calls the cops, who it gets back to the big bad guy. So she sees this vision of them all getting killed by the big bad, so she's like, I'm gonna get to them first. And the only clue I have is they're at this diner and they're listening to Britney Spears' classic song, Toxic. So by the time the song gets to the end is when they're gonna die.
Oh yeah.
So if I beat the song, I will get. So it's just so heavy-handed with this example of like, what do we know about 2003? Well, and it's like And then obviously the biggest ridiculous cash grab from Sony is the absurd insertion of Ben Parker and his family. And there's a weird thing that I saw somebody comment online that was like, she at the end of the movie gains the ability to see the future, and she makes this cheeky remark about how Ben thinks that being an uncle is all the fun.
Right?
Yeah, all the fun, none of the responsibility. And she kind of like laughs like, haha, wait till he finds out. And it's like, so hold on. So that means you've seen the future to know that his parents are gonna get killed, or die.
And no.
That Ben.
Oh yeah, that's
that. Ben and Aunt May are gonna get married and raise Peter, and that he's gonna get gunned down, and you're just gonna do nothing when you had an existential crisis when a paramedic that we never met before gets hit by a car and dies.
It's such an awkwardly paced death.
It's so insane because you're sitting there and you're like, wow. Because
it's almost comedic because she's like trying to stop him. He gets in the thing. He's like, don't worry about it. He drives away, and it's this one single shot of her, and it's just like, it's happening. So you're just waiting. And it's like waiting, and then
it gets hit by a fucking
and then this truck just
cement truck. And that lesson after she gets her powers is that it doesn't matter if you can't change the future. Like, your future's written in stone.
But she learns that she
can't change the future.
Do you know how she learns?
How does she learn, TJ?
With a pigeon. Of course.
What? It's just once again Sony's example that they're like, this is the only thing that we have that's mildly interesting that we own. So how can we introduce enough characters that are close enough to Spider-Man to make audiences interested and think, is he gonna show up?
We have these stories, and they're from a universe that is interesting. Like, there's a
Absolutely.
lot of potential to make like interesting rules and situations.
I didn't need the girl to be like, he climbed the walls like a spider. Like, I didn't need that. I could put it together myself, and I don't know why studios are convinced that audiences are too stupid to put these pieces together themselves.
I saw it with my eyes. I know.
Saw it with my
it's happening.
eyes. She somehow figures out how to control her powers. Which, by the way, if I got bit by a spider that could have given me super strength and superhuman abilities and reflexes to just get the future-telling one, well, I would be pretty pissed. She sees that the girls are in danger because the baby's coming, so they all have to go to the hospital. So she rushes back to New York, makes it there in record time. Man, those international flights are really good. Out of the Peruvian International Airport, and has a face-off with this guy, which really amounts to timing.
This kind of sums up the kind of energy of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Is that we have one super-powered villain dude
Yeah.
trying to kill 3 non-super-powered teenagers that being protected by a
psychic.
A psychic, yeah.
A fucking psychic!
And all she can do is time out things to fall on bad guys.
Yeah.
And that happens that's the only way he's stopped.
The only way that he's stopped.
It's either that or he's hit by a car.
Yeah.
He's hit by an ambulance or he's hit by this. And that Dakota Johnson's driving. And
Yes.
that's their great weapon against just formidable evil.
Get ready. Now.
You're showing off.
Maybe a little.
I knew that Sony was yanking my chain when they were giving us all these great promos of the girls in their costumes, and TJ's sitting there like, I have a theory. I bet it's all premonition, and it's not. We're not actually going to see any of them do any fighting.
I bet a
was
lot
like,
of people called it,
but
I called it too.
Right.
We don't even know how they're gonna get their powers.
No.
It's just vaguely they're gonna be spider ladies.
I truly love anything that Adam Scott is in. So seeing him in a role, any role, was just fun. I love him. He's having a good time. He has good chemistry. I did actually like the gradual way that she realized that she was getting her powers. I thought it was a really fun, creative device. I thought it was actually a good filmmaking choice to have her kind of like, think she's just getting residual deja vu until she realizes they're actually future premonitions and she can control and change them. I like those 2 things. All right, so what would you rank this? What's our rating? I don't know if I want to give it a half or a 1.
Like, what would redeem it up to a 1? You start at kind of a half because it's such a bad movie.
That's a really good
So
point.
if you can creep it up to that even 1, why would it be that?
What would redeem it?
For me, I'd say like the kind of meme factor. It is so like interesting as a piece of high budgeted movie making from Hollywood to see it be this bad that there is like a curiosity element. We were in an audience, we saw it in IMAX theaters, and we were in a crowd. It was like we saw it opening weekend, right? It was like a crowd of like
7 people.
7 or 8
It was
people.
so bad.
And there were plenty of moments where people just like laughed because
Yeah.
of it was just such a dumb thing to see on a movie screen. So for that, I'll give it a 1. Purely on like that obscure so bad it's good enjoyment that I don't think everyone would get because it is a bit boring at a lot of parts. So.
I think what would have made it better was just honestly give your characters drive.
You're asking for it to be a real movie. That's too much, too tall an order. So yeah, that's our landing. So I'm sorry. Wait, did you declare that it was a half or a 1? Your official
I just
ranking.
can't get over that last scene where she's like, I can see clearly now, and she's wearing this. Sorry, hold on. She's in her wheelchair, and the girls come in, and she's like,
very advanced wheelchair.
She's like, bless you, Cassie, and someone's like, what? Achoo!
Oh, you got me.
You got me. And it's like, oh, they were out of the Kung Pao chicken. It's okay. I like tofu. And then she's like, can't you see? I have everything that I can see now.
I have everything I need
To
or
see
something.
The world.
And as the girls are getting lunch ready, she just turns away and rolls.
She's like,
over
and now
the
I'm
window.
done talking
I'm done
with
talking
you.
to you now. And off I
Goodbye.
go.
So.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We had an interesting experience watching this movie, but we hope you had a good time talking about it with us. And if you saw it, please hop in the comments and let us know what you thought. And yeah, we hope to see you on our next review. Thank you so much for watching, And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, it's over. We're free.
Oh God.
We're free. It's over.
See you guys next time.